This is part 2 of making a ceramic wall lamp. The cylinder I threw last time has been drying for a couple of days and now it's perfectly leather hard. At first I didn't think I had a lot to trim, but then I noticed that it was actually kind of uneven. So I went in with my rasp shredding tool thingy to try to even it out. This has like a 50% success rate, but luckily today it actually did work for the most part. After that, it was on to another scary task, which was cutting it in half. I didn't even try to measure where the halfway point was. I just kind of based it off of vibes. And then I got stuck towards the base. And this should have been a clue to me that I did not trim the base enough. I ended up having to flip it around and then pull the wire through. This is the grand reveal. As you can see, the base is very, very chunky. And this really messed up my plans because I originally wanted to just slice off the base with an X-Acto knife. But because the base was so thick, it was really, really, really hard to get the knife to go through. I ended up just scoring a line and then ripping off chunks of the base with my hand. I feel like sometimes I'm just a little bit too stubborn to go look up a tutorial, so a lot of pottery is just doing stupid things and then hoping it works out. I left those two to dry and firm up a little bit while I worked on cutting out some of the other parts of the lamp. Using the really chunky base that I tore off the cylinder, I measured out these little shelves that are going to hold the light bulb and have little nail holes for me to mount the lamp on the wall. I left everything to dry for 30 minutes before coming back to assemble it all. I'm proud of myself for remembering to check the light bulb and make sure everything actually fit. Attaching everything is very straightforward. It's just scoring and slipping everything in place. I do use an unholy amount of slip because my philosophy is that the messier the attachment looks, the more secure it's going to be. And I think the key thing here is to not be afraid of it looking like a mess while it dries. I used to smooth it out immediately and I felt like I always got cracks, but now I leave it overnight to dry like this and I feel like everything is always way more secure. After 12 hours, I unwrap them from the plastic and then I smooth everything out with my finger. I like using my finger because I just feel like I can compress it a lot more. And then once I smooth everything down, it looked like this. At this point, I have one last final step to do, which is to punch out the holes for the light to come through. That was an unintentional rhyme, by the way. Anyways, I'm trying to make this flower design. I never follow my sketch, so I never really know how it's going to look like, but I actually really like how it turned out. So I just repeated the process with the other lamp. I'm really happy with how they both turned out so far, so I'm just going to cover them up in plastic and let them sleep for a bit until I bisque fire them. Okay, bye.